The following review is going to be on Legacy Evolution Comic Universe Bludgeon. Stay tuned. Rodimusbill here, and today we're going to do a review on the new Transformers Legacy Evolution Voyager class Comic Universe Bludgeon. And now let's take a look at the package. There is the Legacy Evolution logo. You've got Bludgeon in his tank mode. On the side, you've got a couple shots of him in the robot mode. You got the Legacy Evolution poster. There's the QR code, which we'll try to scan later. There's the UPC. And on the back, it is Comic Universe Bludgeon Evo Fusion. Ooh, you put the 3 parts of the gun together. 27 steps from Samurai Warrior to Tank. Alright, let's get this guy open and see what he is. Now, here is Bludgeon out of the package, and first we'll look at the directions. Alright, typical directions, 8+ Transformers. Now, there's a few steps, so what you want to do is you got all the weapons together. You can put them, you put these 3 weapons together, goes on his arm, and his sword goes in his hand. Or in this one, you put these 2 together to make like a club of a big long gun, and then you can have him hold it in both his hands. And in this one, you can have this weapon, the 2 guns with the middle piece, form like a missile launcher on each side of his head. So you got 3 different ways of wielding the weapon in robot mode. Then you have the directions. And then in vehicle mode, you know, you do the tank turrets on top, and you could install the sword on the side, and that's what he looks like. So, that is it for the directions. Actually, let's just go through the weapons one at a time now. Alright, so what you do is you got this one piece right here with a 5mm port on the beginning, or in the front, 2 on each side, and you got 5mm pegs. So, and then on these weapons, they're the exact same weapon. No, they're not. They're a little different. That's pretty cool. You got this one's got the 4 vertical stripes right there, and this one you've got the big long stripe like that. So they are different. Okay, if you put them like this, if you put them like that, then you got the raised portion on top and the raised portion on the side. Let's get rid of him because he's messing up the focus. So they are different, and I guess when you put them together like that is the Evo Fusion. But we'll stick with the first one. All right, and this little piece, this rotates around. So what you want to do is, this has, for instruction's sake, it's got like these 2 at the front, like that. And then you put the guns in the back one, like so. And then you have this plugged into his arm. Now there's 2 ports on his arm, so you can do either one. And then you've got the sword in the hand. So that's 1. Now 2 is what we just did a minute ago. So we're going to take all these apart. Oh, whoops. There you go. We're just going to put the 2 swords together. And what you got is, so he can hold the gun in one hand, and then he can hold the other in the other hand. And that is the Evo Fusion right there. And then, which I didn't see, I don't remember this on the Tarn figure. On the Tarn figure, it says to put this in the back. So basically, this goes here. No, that's not right. This goes like that. And then you can put these. I don't remember this being part of Tarn. So let's just put that one there. Maybe you got to rotate this around. Nope. Alright, see, this is new to me. So, you put that on the top one, but that isn't... Oh, okay, you raise it like this. So it gives it added height. And then what you do is you put this on each like that. And now you got something like Prowl or Perceptor or something like that. And then you can put this in his hand. And now you got Bludgeon with the 2 missiles behind his head and his samurai sword. Now, Bludgeon is an odd figure. His origin, even though it says Comic Universe Origin, he started out being a Pretender. Now, in the comics, Pretenders were shells. You had an outer shell. The Decepticons had all grotesque, like weird animals and creatures, shells, monsters. And the Autobots had human shells and like astronaut outfits. So what you did is you take the shell, you split it apart, kind of like this. This is the old Pretenders from Power of the Primes, where you'd have Bludgeon would have been the smaller figure inside the shell. They just popped open like that. And then you had a smaller figure inside, and that smaller figure transformed into an alternate mode too. So what I'll do is I'll attach a photo somewhere in this video of him, what he used to be, what the original toy was. But in the comics, they made him into a big major villain toward the end. I remember, I think he was on the cover of one of the last few issues of the series. Actually, I'm going to show you right here on my tablet. You had Bludgeon on the Transform. This was a British comic, I think. You got Bludgeon there. You got Bludgeon's face with Megatron. So you got Bludgeon there. You got Bludgeon there. And this was, I believe, number 80 in a 4-part miniseries. The original Marvel Comics was supposed to run for 4 parts, and it wound up going for 80. And Bludgeon was listed on the very last comic book. He was on the cover, and there he is. And so you got just a couple little comics where Bludgeon used in the comic universe. There he is again. That's Action Force. But mostly I remember him because I collected the original Transformers comics. Actually, I collected all of them up until a few months ago. But that is Bludgeon from the comics. And so I was actually surprised, and them using the Tarn mold. Let's see, how accurate is that? Not too accurate. I mean, I guess they could have used, let's see. Let's get a good shot of him. See, that's what he was. So, I mean, not too, I mean, they try to get the colors, the orange and the and it should have been purple, not this red. But, yeah, so kind of wish they would have done a new mold. But I guess this one works. I mean, he is Bludgeon after all, so it'll work for the time being. But that is the history of Bludgeon. He was a Pretender in the old original action figures, and he was in the original Transformers comic books. And he was a robot ninja. Alright, so let's put this all back to where we had it. Well, you know what? Let's go over Bludgeon's articulation. Alright, so you take the head, and the head does, oh wow, he's tight, 360 degrees, and he goes down, and he goes up, so it's pretty neat. The arms go 360 degrees that way, they go up like that, then you got the elbow, 90 degrees, they rotate 360 degrees, and you've got fingertip articulation, which is nice. These 4 fingers are together. Let's see, you got waist rotation, and then the other arm, same thing, out, up and down. Now, front, you can kick all the way up. Back, you can kick all the way up. and sideways, almost a full split. You have the thigh rotation up here, which is, it's weird. It's not a ball and joint, and it's not a mushroom peg. I'm not sure what it is. But you've got double bend at the knee. And then, of course, you've got the ankle tiltage like that. And it goes back and forth for transformation. And he's a pretty clean figure. No back kibble at all. I mean, look how smooth that is. Completely straight. If anything was a problem with this mold is, I think, from the waist down, he's just, to me, he looks disproportionate. But that's just me. And, yeah, he's molded after the Tarn mold. And this mold, it's not perfect, but it could be a fun mold if you know what you're doing. And I noticed on mine, real quick, was on my Tarn figure, this piece popped off all the time. And I've transformed this guy a few times. It's actually my son's. He got it at Target. This hasn't popped off once. So either they did a better job or my Tarn was a defect. All right. Oh, and let's do blast effects. All right. So you got these two are blast effect compatible. Nice. And then you got these are also blast effect compatible. All right. And then hopefully, yep, on the bottom of the feet, just so you could do some flying. I like when they do that, or maybe this looks better. Like that. So that is it for the blast effect compatibles. And also the 5mm pegs. I love how you got one here, one there, one there. Same on the other side. You've got one back here. So this was the greatest thing I think Hasbro did, was come up with these, you know, weaponizers, modulators, this 5mm peg system. Because, I mean, you could just, it makes playing with these a whole lot more excitement. If I was a kid and I actually played with these, I'd be in my glory. Back when I was a kid, we barely had articulation. All right, let's do some robot to robots real quick. You knew our first comparison was going to be Tarn. Now, when you look at these two, I try to find the differences, and unfortunately Hasbro went cheap. It is the exact same figure with a different head. You look, I was hoping maybe a different chest, but you got the two stripes there. You've got these two. You've got these two silver pieces. The Decepticon symbol's the same. The abdomen is the exact same. The waist is the same. The legs. Everything's the exact same mold. The treads, you know, even the guns on the back. Right here. Everything's the same. You know, I like when Hasbro, if you're going to do a remold, at least change a few things. Like they've done in the past, they've redone the chests, you know, redone the arms, redone the legs or something. But these are, it's a straight up repaint with, these the same too? Yeah, it's a straight up repaint with a different head. So, Hasbro, you let me down. You could have at least given us a different chest piece, different arms or something. But that's Tarn. Now we're going to look at Megatron. Now here's a Siege Voyager, and this is a Legacy Evolution Voyager. So over the years, all the sizes have gotten a lot smaller, but that's how these two guys compare. This is a deluxe Legacy Evolution Skullgrin. Now Skullgrin was also a Pretender, but they decided to make this Skullgrin his own mold and a deluxe figure. And Bludgeon was a Pretender, and they made him a Voyager size. Here's Impactor, Autobot Wrecker, also a tank. Do you see the tank mode I'm going for? And here is the Gamer Edition Megatron. I just did a review on this guy not too long ago, just past week. And he's another Voyager. Again, look how small he is. He's even smaller than Bludgeon. And I showed you this guy before too. This was his original G1 mode. pure samurai. You've got the stuff at the waist. You know, they could at least added extra pieces that went over the on the waist. I mean, they got the head right, kinda, but I kinda wish they would have stuck with the purple and did a little more samurai. Maybe have these yellow kinda so he matches his old self. But and this just forms I think one of the primes. It really doesn't form a face. Yeah, that's just formed a prime. So, but this was what we had before with Bludgeon. And, I mean, is he okay? Yeah, but, I mean, there was no green in the original Bludgeon. And I would have liked at least some samurai waist joints that you could have flipped up. But we got what we got. Alright, now to transform this guy. Now, first we're going to remove all the weapons. Like that. And then we're going to come back here. We're going to unpeg the backpack from the tank treads. You're going to rotate this around and then rotate these around. And I'm just going to pull this out here, which would give you room to take the head, make it short straight, and pop it back. Alright, then what you're going to do is take the arms and pull the arms up like that. Okay? So after the arms are done, you're going to unpeg this piece and hope it doesn't fall out, because this piece always pops off for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these sideways. We're going to try to get these and then take the tank treads and you're going to pull them out just a little. They don't come out much. And then we're going to take this and we're going to try to rotate it back without knocking this piece off. And it knocked off. So we're just going to rotate these back. And then I'm just going to slide this back on. It is the worst ever. I don't understand how anybody can do this without it popping off. My Tarn does the same thing. And this is like the 5th time I'm trying this. So we're just going to leave it like that. Alright, for right now, put the legs together. Close these up. And then just swing them out. Okay? But we want to work on the arms first. Now, the main idea of the arm is what you're going to do is you're going to get this slot in this tab. And you're going to use the double joint. So you're going to, first you want to take this green thing and rotate it around. See, it's on a little slider joint. So move that around. Alright? Now, you got to use this joint. You're going to use both of these joints. This joint to move it diagonal and this joint. And what you want to do is you want to get that tab in that slot. And you're going to take the hands and rotate them. And that side's in. Alright? Now, other side. So what you want to do is bend it there. And then use this to get in there. And then you want to rotate the hand. And that is it for the for those. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take these, and you're going to split them, and take this piece and pull it down. Now, this little piece right here, the black, you're going to try to get underneath the green. So you want to slide this under, like that. And then this is just going to tab into here. It tabs in like that. And that side's done. Okay, other side. We're going to take the tank tread. You're going to pull it apart from here. And then you're going to take this and pull this down. Now again, you got that little clearance right there for this black piece. So you're going to slide this in. And this will peg into that. Okay, now what you want to do is, this might have spun around, so make sure this base in the front, you want to push this back. Now you got a little tab like right there, and you got that little tab right there. You want to get them right here. So you want to fold the feet back so it tabs in. And then this, you can just push all the way up like that. And we're done. And then you can take this. Now, instead of using the 5mm peg, you use these two tabs, or these two slots with these two tabs. So, the proper way to do it is, let's see, you've got, I believe, is the tab. Okay, so the ramp down faces front. So what you want to do is you want to put these back here. Oh, that don't work. Oh, I'm sorry. You can put this in here. Once you tab these in, then you can rotate this around. And then you can take the tank weapons. Now you're going to have to put this one on this side, because if you put on this side, this is going to get in the way. So we're just going to put that one there. I'm going to take the other one and put it here. And then the sword, it tells you to snap on the side. So I guess you use this 5mm peg and you stick it in there. And there. And there you have Bludgeon in his tank mode. And it's not a bad tank mode. Not really. You've got the 2 sets of tank treads. Like I said, this piece up here is a pain in the neck. Mine always pops out on him and Tarn. I don't know why. But we'll look from the front. You got the Decepticon symbol. You've got the orange. You've got clear plastic right there. You got these 2 weapons, which could rotate. And they got a little tab right there. So if you want to peg them in, that little tab right there. And you can peg them in. And then you got this. But you know what? Then this, you can rotate it on this dimension right here. And then you could you can move these up a little, but not much, because you pop it out. So there's not really much room you can do. I wonder if you put these here, will that impact it? And then you stick these back in here again. Nope. So you really can't raise them up that much, but you can do it. But they do rotate 360 degrees. And if you want, you can even take the sword and put the sword up here, anywhere there's a 5mm port, like that. Actually, that don't look too bad. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all the blast effects like this. And then we're gonna put some here. And then we're gonna put this here. And there we go. And there is Bludgeon, all armored and tanked up. So, I mean, he's not a bad tank. Not at all. But, like I said, it's... And I wish kind of they would have put wheels. There's no wheels. There's 4 little struts right there. You lay them on, but that's what it looks like from the bottom. He's got a weird transformation, but it's not bad. I mean, I don't mind it, really. It's a tank, so... And that's what Bludgeon was. Alright, I guess we could go through it. Orange, yellow, you got the gray, you got the green. You got the yellow here, the orange, you got the red back here. And the feet just hang out like back. That don't look too bad. I mean, I've seen worse. The hands, they're just going to hang out like that. You really got no choice. Now there's from the side, not really. You got a little gap, but you really can't see it. So, and all in all, I mean, he does straighten up real nice, real thin. You got no backpack at all, so can't complain about being the backpack. But, all right, let's just do some other comparisons. Of course, the first comparison is we're going to bring in Tarn. Now, unfortunately, like I said, it's the exact same mold. Kind of wish they would have at least changed a few things on him, but they didn't. Let me just put this guy so he's the exact same way. There. I kind of wish they would have changed one thing on him at least. And see, I got this guy's got to be on this side because of the kibble on top. But they're the exact same thing. Everything's the same. The chest piece is the same, except he's got clear plastic. This doesn't. The faces are different, but everything else is, I mean, I don't mind when they use the same mold, but at least change a few panels, change the chest. But, oh well. That's what those two guys look like. And then we're going to bring in Skullgrin, his fellow Pretender tank. So that is what these two guys look like. Two Pretenders, one's a Deluxe, one's a Voyager. We're going to bring in Megatron. Now, he's one Voyager size, and this is the other Voyager. So, I mean, you can tell big difference in size. But Megatron's like got a huge backpack, and this guy doesn't, so he cleans up pretty nice. Impactor, fellow Cybertronian tank, although he's an Autobot. So again, with the yellow, well, this guy's got yellow and purple, so this should have been Bludgeon's colors, the yellow and purple. And then last, we're going to bring in the hover tank from the Megatron Game Edition. Again, both Voyagers, this guy was a little smaller, but just the way they transform is completely different. Alright, and that is all for the comparison. Now, if you're new to my channel, or if you've been to my channel before, you know that I like to transform them both ways. I always start as they are packed, because a lot of times it's a lot harder. Oh, let me get my QRC. It's a lot harder to go from robot to alt mode, because you're usually compacting it and then going from alt mode to robot mode, which most reviewers do, and they only do one way. I will always show you both ways, and I always start how they're packaged. This guy was packaged in robot mode, so we went from robot mode to tank mode, and now I'm going to show you how to go back. Alright, first thing we do is going to remove the weapons. Not a big deal. Alright, now we're going to untab the feet and just fold them out like that. We're going to untab this, turn it around, and just get this out of the way. Now we're going to do the arms. So, untab this. We're going to take this piece, and we're just going to fold it back in, close this up, and do the other arm. We're going to untab this, fold this out, close it up. Let me move the camera up a little. There you go. Next, we're going to untab these and just straighten the arms up. While we're here, we can just take these and just fold them back to the original positions. We're just going to fold these up, back to their original positions. Now, we can just straighten out the legs now, put the feet out. Now that's what we got. Now we're going to work on the top. Let's see if I can do this without ruining it. So, we're going to take the arms, we'll just fold this up first. We'll fold these up. And now what you want is you want to get this whole thing rotated around. So, we're going to rotate this. This is where I think it hits, right back here. And I wonder if there's a way to... How are you going to... Alright, that one, well, we'll have to... see? I don't understand the clearance issue on this. I just, for the life of me, just cannot understand it. Alright. And this tabs in here. We got 2 tabs here and 2 tabs here. So we're going to push the shank treads back in, and that's what locks him in. Then we're going to rotate these so the grain's on the side, and you have your elbow bend, and turn the wrists. Again, turn at the elbow. Make the wrist come out. So now we're going to take the head. It's got a little grip right there where you can put your nail and flip the head up like so. And then rotate this around. Now again, you got tabs back there, and these peg into the tank treads. And if they don't peg in, then you don't have these pushed in all the way. And then we're going to take these and flip them out. So this pegs into the back and this pegs into the front. And we are done. We'll just straighten them out. Put this back on his arm like that. And we'll rotate this around. Yeah, rotate that around, and then we'll put this on the back one. And then we'll put the samurai sword. All right, and that is Bludgeon. Whew. Like I said, there is a sweet spot. There has to be a sweet spot when you take this and you move it up where this moves in, where this can turn around. I know there is. I haven't found it yet. And let's look at the directions real quick. So the directions have you flipping them up. Then, see, this has you pulling them out. And you flip this up a little. Pull them out, and it has you going back. But I tried that, and mine didn't work. So, oh yeah, then it does snap into that little area. So, all right, that is Bludgeon. I thought maybe I had a bad tarn, but it's just this mold. I do not like this mold at all. They look pretty cool, though, with all the tanks on the arms. I do like how they're pretty clean, no kibble, but it's just one rubber piece. You got to flip it out. I just don't like it. Anyway, that's Bludgeon for you. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Like and share. Please comment. You can find me on Facebook pages. I'm on a couple Facebook pages. I have my own Facebook Rodimusbill YouTube reviews. I'm on Twitter or X, Pinterest. Not only do I do Transformers, I do DC figures. We do new toy sightings. I do Funko Pops. I do some Lego sets. I do movie, like first reactions. Just subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and you'll see. All right, so Rodimusbill saying, till all are one, Bludgeon out. And now for a little bonus, we're going to take the QR code. All right, we're going to take a picture of the QR code, and we're going to get Bludgeon Decepticon. Here. All right, so Transformers, Bludgeon, Decepticon, Alt Mode Tank, Function Electric Warrior, Origin Universe Comics. Signature weapon, electric cannon, fires high voltage blasts of electricity to stun opponents. Bio. Bludgeon is a vicious warrior and master of the ancient art of metallicado. His blade is a fearsome sight to behold on the battlefield. Strength 6. Intelligence 8, Speed 2, Firepower 7. So that is your Bludgeon Decepticon QR code. All right. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Rodimusbill out.